First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go!
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off a handoff here, Swimming. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Go! 180! Watch the run, watch the run! He's crashing. He's checking crash. Hey, Shell! Shell!
Throwing again is gone. Able to shake him up, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The NFC's Pro Bowl punter a year ago, Jack Fox, on to punt for the Lions. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat. Kill, kill. 18, runway, 18, runway.
There's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Big hold to the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. They find some open field here. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They got to take care of business first.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, this Week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this is now a 17-game regular season. And because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage. But touchdown! Colin Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see them, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And all the way down to the 29. 122 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing again on second down. Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle first down. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Hurts. That's swung out wide to Sanders. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Do what you do.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
2nd and 8.
Go!
Now gone. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Third and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Here's Goff. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll try it now with Swift. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Ric Flair.
There's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's Derek Barnett coming in and making the play.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Goff now looks to throw. No, bottled up. It's out. It's loose. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Gone. This is caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's third and a yard. Goff now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Quintez Cephas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, it was third and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it.
He'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. Always got some breathing room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
Back, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 44, Mike, check smash.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. In on the tackle, Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go. Cougar 19. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 44. Go street. 44 is the mic. 18. Pioneer. Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing on second and long. Hurts. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 44-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo. Brilliant. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
Hurts sets up to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
44, Mike, 44.
throw again on second down. Hurts. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. Wiggles free. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. Second and 7. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
The draw off will give this to Swift. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2nd and 9.
Mike 50, Mike.
Now gone. Escaping the pressure right. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well.
Mike 20. We want this. Mike 50, Mike 50.
On first down, it's gone. Looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
We got him!
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen.
And it's intercepted. Picked by the former Lion, Darius Slay. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Ready. Mike's Popo. 19 Lion. 44 is the Mike.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. C.J. Board, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
We got 4.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Goff. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's gone. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Eric Wilson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
What we got?
19 tight. Set,
They go play action with Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll drop the throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Devontae Smith as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, it's Corey Ballantyne. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Shot before break here. Gone. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Double tight.
They'll go again with Sanders. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Double tight. Big lion. Check. Rush in.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, it's Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
First down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. Second down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down now, it's Sanders. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That would put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 8 yards on the completion, and they face 3rd down. Here's Goff. Open man, the tight end fails. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
1st downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. 1st down, they go with Swift again. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Gone. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And that last pass for Jared Goff puts him over 20,000 career passing yards. So congratulations to Jared Goff, former #1 pick. Came into the league in 2016. A few bumps and bruises, but all in all, a good number in a relatively short amount of time. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. That false start costly. Moves him back to the 9 now. 1st and goal. To throw is gone. He'll get this off to Swift. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll run right here with Swift. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. 3rd and goal. Try to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Back to throw. Gone. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Tyrell Williams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Seibert on for the PAT. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Let's go. Cougar 19. Trap 60. Trap 60.
Watch the clock. Motion. Pop. Mike 8. It's going to be a long.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
When you see those RPOs run, you need the first man to attack and be a disruptor. And on that play, he closed down fast and helped knock it away.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since.
44.
Mustang 19.
Wild Bill. Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo. Watch the out.
Back to throw again. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
Here we go. Bronco 80. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And this one will be brought back to the 22. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by the former Lion, Darius Slay. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
60 Bison. Check.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
70 Rangers.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
70 Lion.
Check. Lucky.
70 Lion.
Sanders again, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. 4 touchdown passes. They're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
On the return, Corey Ballantyne. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Goff now looking to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I noticed you used the word spark because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Mike's 50. Hey, D-line, let's get it. Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by the former Lion, Darius Slay. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
4 down, 4 down. Mike 8.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. Smith with a first down and more. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish an inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he will not make it. They stop him short of the first down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Lions will take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. After the interception, here's Gone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. It's a 2nd down run for Sanders. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head home next week to take on the L.A. Chargers. Meanwhile for Detroit, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action